Authentic, fun, relatable, and slightly provocative. Just another hang with your besties. It's CK Mornings and the In Case You Missed It podcast.
Allow me to introduce you to a new term that is out there being used by Gen Z or Gen Z workers, if you're one to use that. According to this report, Gen Zers are trying to enhance their workplace culture with what they are calling micro-joys. Small moments that make the workday more enjoyable, productive, and sustainable. Aren't they cute? They want micro-joys at work. Now, I don't want to be the old guy that complains about other generations, because I feel like this has always happened. Like, back in the 40s and the 50s, it was like, oh, back in my generation, things were always better. And my mom does that now, too, and it drives me nuts. I'm like, it wasn't always better. Like, when it changes, it doesn't make it worse. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be the old guy that says this. But I do think it's funny that Gen Zers are looking for micro-joys at work. Little moments that make it more enjoyable and sustainable. Sounds great. It does. Sounds wonderful. But I remember once working at the grocery store when I was in high school. And I came home and I was complaining, or maybe I was going to work, complaining about going to work. And my mom said, why don't you want to go to work? And I said, it's not fun. And she looked me dead in the eyes and she's like, work's not meant to be fun. It's meant to make you money and live. It's so different than the way we're dealing with it now. If I ever said to my mom, I want to go to the grocery store, I hope I have a micro-joy today, she would have kicked me in the butt. Sounds great. I'd love to have some micro-joys at work. I'd love to have macro-joys. Give me all the joys. Give me all of them. I want all of them. But no. My mom, dead in the eye. It's not meant to be fun. It's meant to live and make money. Pour me another coffee. Good Wednesday morning. Here's a thing that, if you're a coffee lover, might be your next favorite thing. It's a new coffee hack, and it's called coffee slushies, and they're going viral right now on social media. I just saw it last night on TikTok, and then it popped up on my timeline here this morning. So let me tell you about this, okay? It's like an iced coffee, but it's made for the run, like on the run. So this is what you do. You make your coffee as usual. You wait for it to cool. Or do like I do, just make your coffee, forget to put the lid on it, it gets cold, and that's how you have to drink it. But you do that. Make your coffee, let it get cold. Pour your coffee then into a Ziploc bag. You know, this is why it's got to be cold. Seal it, and then you throw it in the freezer. You can do this a bunch of times. Just put it in a Ziploc and lay them flat in the freezer so you can stack them. Now, once they're frozen, you take it out the next day. And you start whacking them with something, so it's smashed into little chunks, like little ice cube coffee chunks. Put it in your glass. Put your favorite type of oat milk or whatever you want to put over top of it, and then off you go. The coffee will slowly melt, forming the slushie. If you want to make them fancier, you can put like pumps of syrup in it, do all the things. But they say this is the new hack for coffee lovers. I'm not totally against it. I wanted to hate it because right away I hate when they say hacks. I'm like, okay, well, what is this? But this one, I'm like, oh, I could probably get behind this. Like, who doesn't love a good ice cap? You can control it a little more. You make it at home. Throw the coffee. Once it's cool, don't put boiling hot coffee in a Ziploc, but put it in a Ziploc, put it in the fridge. And I guess technically it doesn't have to be in a Ziploc, but I guess it makes it easier to smash it up. And what better way? Okay, you start the morning, you haven't had your coffee yet. Not only are you getting your coffee, but you get to smash something to start. I think it's a win-win. Somebody is finally seeing my vision. My genius mind at work is not just my own. I feel somebody has listened to me and finally has come up with something. There's an article out today about how professional back scratching is a wellness service, much like massage or like even chiropractic. It's like it's good for the body. I have brought this up many times. I would like to open up, I don't even know if there's a bylaw against this, a back scratching parlor. Maybe the word parlor isn't what I use, but like a back scratching shop. And much like a massage, you go in and you choose how long you want to go, hopefully covered by your benefits, and you get a good solid back scratching in. This is my idea. It's my $1 million idea. Just didn't have the financial backing to get him moving. But now this article here is saying a growing number of entrepreneurs are turning professional back scratching into a paid wellness service, and some are charging more than $100 an hour. My idea, man. There's one guy who charges about $130 a session using long reinforced acrylic nails. Maybe this is a woman. Long reinforced acrylic nails to scratch clients' backs, arms, legs, and scalps. Now, there's nothing like, there's nothing perverted about this. This is all for wellness. This is my idea. This woman says many customers fall into a deep state of relaxation. Some experience ASMR, tingling sensations, and it creates feelings of calm and pleasure. Is there anything better than a good back scratch? I don't think so. This other woman left a six-figure job, now charges $110 for a 50-minute session. Appointments often book weeks and weeks in advance. And they say some sessions and services can include more than just scratching. Some use feathers, makeup brushes, hair brushes, whispering, and other techniques. Okay, well, I don't want to get into that. That seems like we've got too much going on there. They say the service is all about stress and relaxation, nothing sexual, and many have strict boundaries with clients. Yes, I think there is a need for this. You ever been sitting around and you got like that spot in your back you just need scratched and you're just not comfortable until it happens? Oh, it just would feel great. Even if you can scratch your own leg. Like I'm scratching my leg right now. Cool, great. But somebody else does it? Oh, just relief. One of these professional back scratchers says her nails require regular maintenance and she cleans them with the same level of care expected in professional settings. That's what I'm saying. You don't go to the dentist, they use the same tool in your mouth. You clean the nails, take good care of them. It's a very clean business. Somebody's taking my idea. I need the financial backing. And this person's making six figures a year. Back scratching. I'd be all in. I think this is a great idea. They say back scratching, gentle scratching specifically, releases endorphins, oxytocin, and dopamine, chemicals that are linked to pleasure and relaxation. Another $1 million idea I'm giving away for free. Dilemma of the day, where I put you in a situation and you got to get yourself out of it. We do it Wednesdays. This is a simple one. This is a common dilemma. I don't know how often it happens. You find $100 in cash at the ATM. Nobody else is around. What is your next move? What do you do? You find $100 in cash at the ATM. Nobody else is around. What is your next move? Years ago, the drive-through ATM that is just down the street here on Kyle, I went through before work one morning, so it's like 4:45, which I'm always feeling like you always feel like you're doing something wrong at 4:45. So I pull in, and there's $40 sitting in the trough, the spit out thing there. And I looked around. I'm like, who's setting me up? Who's doing this? I tell you, I bought myself the best case of beer with that $40. I took it. Nobody else is around. I kind of looked, didn't see anything, so probably was in for bad karma the rest of that month. What do you do in this situation? You find $100 in cash at the ATM. Nobody else is around. What's your next move? I'm thinking if it's in the bank, maybe I go up to the register and say, hey, found this. I'd feel like there's cameras. I feel like that'd be watched. But if it's, on the weekend or something, I don't know. I might be scooting out of there. $100? $100 is $100. What do you do in this situation? Chris's dilemma of the day. One of our texters before 7:30 will win those tickets. You find $100 in cash at the ATM. Nobody else is around. Nobody sees you. You think. What is your next move? Chris's dilemma of the day, which is a pretty standard dilemma. I think we've been faced with this one in the past, but some interesting responses today. You find $100 in cash at the ATM. Nobody else is around. What is your next move? What are you doing? $100 in cash, nobody else is around. What's your next move? Kathleen says the ATM login cameras should know exactly whose cash that was. Karma's always watching. Getting a lot of that. First-time texter, I'm taking it to the teller. $100 isn't worth being accused of stealing, even though it is found money. Dalton says, of course, I spent it on tickets to the African Lion Safari. Just kidding. Definitely call the bank or toll-free and return it to the teller if somebody's there. Candace says you take it as a sign from the universe. Take your spouse or family out for dinner. Free money. Gord says the right thing. Too many cameras around. Take the money to the bank, give them $110 and say it was sticking out of the ATM. I get it. Dave, if the bank was open, I'd turn it in or wait until next business day. Honesty is the best policy. Yes, but it's not as fun. Heather says 30 years ago, a.k.a. Broke Heather, would take it all day long. Nowadays, with all the cameras and being somewhat of a good person, I could never do it. I have to report the money and turn it in. Hashtag adulting sucks. It does. Miriam says, keep it. Saves me from withdrawing my own money. Nicole, if I found $100 in the ATM, nobody else is around, maybe check with the bank if they're still open. If not, I guess I would take $100. $100 is $100. See, a lot of people were split on this. We're going both ways. Sonia says, you take it in if it's open, but if not, hand it to see who asks 24 hours later. Okay, Christine says, because of karma, if there's a bank, I'd bring it in. If a drive-through, I'd be tempted to keep it, but I'd worry about karma. Yeah, karma always eats away at your brain. Lisa says, I'd look around, call up my lucky day, and buy myself a new handbag. All the while saying to myself, finders, keepers, losers, weepers. Cindy, there's nobody around and no receipts with that $100, bring it back into the bank to prove who it belonged to, then I'm definitely keeping it. What else can you do? If you don't see anybody drop it, you have no proof? Brandy says, look around, take it to get a coffee, and then buy for the person behind me. Get some groceries, donate a bag on my way out. Pay some of it forward. Finders keepers, but still keep it in the good karma. She's coping. I get it. Dan, I'm taking it. I'm buying a couple of beers at the Spitfire game. Thanks, Dan. Good one. Sally, it's like finding it on the ground. You keep it. Anita says, if no one else is around, it's yours. Francis, pick it up, take it. Doug says, I found $50 before, went to the grocery store, bought some soup and craft dinner, and donated to the food bank. Many other people could use the help. Okay, Doug. Fun police. I get it, though. Tina says, I take it, call the bank number, hand it in. Tammy says, take it to the bank. Same things, cameras everywhere. Francis says, pick it up and take it. Ron says, I'm going to keep it because the next person would. Shauna's always good for a text. Are you kidding me? I'm keeping it. If someone else is there, ask them, but no one's there. It's a gift. Randy says, smile, enjoy your luck. Abe, you take it when the bank opens the next day and return it. They're watching. Cheryl, walk it into the bank. Corby, pizza party at work today. Snooze, you lose. And Jessica, yeah, call the bank. Cameras are everywhere. I don't know, man. $100 is $100. I'd be, yeah. The karma is what gets you. Because the rest of the day, you'd be like, what wrong could happen? But I'm still taking it.
Oh, I'd love to be an Oscar Mayer wiener. That is what I truly like to be. 'Cause if I were an Oscar Mayer wiener, everyone would be in love with me.
Yeah, Oscar Mayer is celebrating an anniversary this weekend, a 90th anniversary of the Weinermobile. You know, the big hot dog mobile? Which is just quite the flex. You're just ripping around in that thing. The Oscar Mayer Weinermobile is 90 this weekend. The Weinermobile was created in Chicago in 1936, and they did it to lift spirits of Americans during the Great Depression. A better way, not having any money or making ends meet, than to see somebody driving around in a big hot dog. There are now 6 Weinermobiles traveling all over the U.S. at times. We see them over here now and then. They happen to make their way across, which is always like a shock to the system. You're like, what the heck is that? But this weekend, they celebrate their 90th anniversary of the Weinermobile. Tell me if you're getting on board with this. They're going to celebrate this weekend with Weinercakes. You heard me right. A Weinercake. It's a bunch of hot dogs arranged around a 2-tier cake, along with ketchup and mustard-colored confetti. And then there's a big Weinermobile topper on top. Now, you can't get these just anywhere. There's the bakery in the States called Milk Bar, and then the big locations like New York, Los Angeles, Chicago. They'll be available on Friday. So if you happen, I know the long shot, you happen to find yourself in one of these big cities, and you're like, man, so hungry. I could go for a Weinercake. Is there two words that should not go together more than those two? Just does not sound appetizing. And I'm looking at a picture of it. It's exactly what you think it would be. Like, it does not look appetizing. Actually, if you Google Weinercake and you go through the Google photos, somebody had an idea at one time. It just didn't hit. But the Oscar Mayer Weinercake is like the upper echelon of that. It does not look appetizing. Sweet with the cake just doesn't seem to hit. But anyway, happy 90th. Would you have a Weinercake? Is that something that makes your mouth water, or maybe a little regurgitation? There's an article in the New York Post today about how they are being terrorized by rabid beavers. Wildlife experts say rabid beavers are incredibly rare, but they've had quite the encounters recently in Manhattan and in the New Jersey area. They say there was only 40 confirmed rabid beavers reported from 2002 to 2021. So over 19 years, only 40, and they've had a handful that's actually made them very concerned here recently. They say if you encounter a beaver, they're difficult to avoid. They're very difficult to avoid. They don't like you. When you go up to the cottage, you paddle, you can hear them. They smack their tail, but they're gone. They don't like to stick around. But you don't want to get near a beaver. Beaver's teeth are almost powerful enough to chew through trees, and they can swim twice as fast as most people. So these beavers in the Manhattan, New Jersey area are threatening people. And they only threaten when you invade their homes or their babies are threatened. So they're not exactly sure what's going on. But we got them thinking, don't we? Beaver's a Canadian animal, right? You want 50%? Go ahead. Put the 50% tariffs on you. We'll sick our undercover rabid beavers after you. We'll take you down one by one. The Canadian Marines, basically. That's what they are. They're on the scene right now. So, but yeah, truthfully, they don't know exactly what's going on with these beavers, but they've become very difficult to deal with in this area of New York, New Jersey. Well, maybe you need our help now, don't you?
Subscribe to the CK Mornings in case you missed it podcast and never miss an episode. Plus, drop us a rating and a comment too. Listen live weekday mornings at 94.3 CKSY.com.